most days, I try and carry my own dabba. At work, we are a team of foodies. We all eat together, and lunch is special. It's like my second family. And my colleagues are my true critics. अच्छा लगता है. I love sharing food and all the stories around food. I think it's the best way to bond and stay together. I'm a nutrition Nazi and I believe that food should be wholesome and fresh. I have this memory of watching my mother clean the sprouts and remove the green chilka of the moong. She was always working, doing things that at the end of the day would result in the meal on the table. Always delicious. When I'm buying vegetables, I hunt for new kinds of leafy greens and rare fruits. Everyday cooking can be a little boring, so I try and elevate a roti to a multigrain paratha or a thali peet or thepla. What I've done is I've just added a lot of different kinds of atta. There's beetroot and wheat atta, mixed millet atta, rajgira. This khalbatta, it belonged to my grandmother and then my mother. And I have inherited it, literally taken it from Amma. This is my food, this is how I cook. Plenty of shortcuts. Lots of ingredients. Sometimes I follow a recipe. Often I don't. I just make my own tweaks. Put a vegetable here or some spice there. I like the way this has turned out. It's so colorful. Pink with bits of green. I love colors. You could call this a beetroot roti or a rotla, bhakri, thali peet. I grew up eating typical home-cooked Saraswat food, but what I cook is a mix of different techniques and I take plenty of shortcuts. But sometimes I like to keep things basic and cook a very traditional meal. Every time my mother had to break open a coconut, my siblings and I would gather around her for our share of the coconut water. She would break the coconut and say a little prayer because she said this was an auspicious act. Then she would start with the part that had the eyes of the coconut. She'd say these are the eyes of the Devi. Is Amma's recipe. She normally dry roasts the masalas, but like I said, I have to take plenty of shortcuts. So I just mix it and I ground it all together to make the masol. The gravy that you see, that's masol for me. This goes into the kadai. I love this recipe because sprouted moong, one, it's really healthy, and along with this coconut gravy with tamarind and mild chilies, it's a delicious recipe that goes very well with something like a bhakri or a rotla. Tadka excites me. Tadke ki baat hi kuch aur hai. I remember my father would insist on the sequence of the tadka. Put the mustard seeds only when the oil is hot. He would tell us, put the hing before the kadi patta. I think every tadka has a language and every gravy has a tadka. It's like, they have to be friends. You can't just put any tadka on just any gravy.